Sorry.
Raphael.
I mean, honestly.
We can do this.
Come on, Raphael. Keep it down.
Hey, let's be right back. Yeah, with Fireman 3 Houses are Verdant when Assassins only run for a support theater episode, Raphael and Bernadetta.
Huh? What's that noise?
I think it's you, buddy.
Sounds like someone's having fun. Maybe it's coming from the greenhouse.
It sounds like someone's calling for war.
That was really fun, Bernie. Good thing I found such an out-of-the-way spot to play. Only the pretty flowers heard.
I don't know, it's like right beside the fishing pond and the dining hall. I feel like everyone heard that.
That right little flower. You're the only one who heard, aren't you? What did you think?
It was sublime. I didn't even know you knew XIVD.
That was amazing!
Why is your voice so deep?
What? A flower?
Oh no. Raphael, you heard it all, didn't you?
I did! What kind of instrument was that?
It's a flute.
I could hear it all the way over at the training grounds. It was great. I didn't know you could play.
All the way from the training grounds? Oh.
That's right. And then I came here to tell you how good you sounded.
Good. No, I'm on to you. First, you flatter me. Then you get me to perform on stage in front of everyone to humiliate me.
It wasn't part of the plan in the slightest, I don't think.
No? But that's a great idea. Everyone should be able to hear your music.
I knew it! Monster! Won't fall victim to your schemes!
I don't know what just happened, but I think I might have scared it.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what just happened either, Raphael, but I think you're right. And I'm very sorry about that, because it clearly was not your intention. Poor Bernadetta and Raphael, actually. Linny and Happy. This ought to be interesting.
Stupid rain. Go back to the stupid cloud you came from. I'm soaked. What a pain.
Happy? Yikes. You look like you just crawled out of a lake. Here, dry yourself off. And don't just stand there. You'll catch a cold. Come on. I'll make you some tea.
Oh, okay.
Huh. It's been ages since I had a nice cup of tea during a rainstorm. Pretty nice, eh?
I don't drink tea very often. It is nice. But what does the rain have to do with anything?
Doesn't rain make you want to read a book? Or rather, nap with a book on your lap. Though, I guess I'd like that no matter the weather. But then, if the book is too good, not only will I be unable to sleep, my tea would get cold. That makes brewing it a wasted effort. And that's why I don't drink tea when it rains.
Mental gymnastics going on there. But I like the rain as well, Linhart.
Right. Thanks for clearing that up. And thanks for the cup of tea. Well, I'm pretty much dry now. Gotta say, I'm kind of confused.
Huh? About what?
This just seems way out of character for you. You're so focused on yourself, you've barely ever spoken to me before now.
No, good point. Thing is, I'm not cut out for battle. If a fight breaks out, I'm only a liability. It's better for everyone if I keep my distance.
What does fighting have to do with... Oh, I get it. You think I'm gonna sigh. You're just like the others. But if that's true, why are you acting so different?
What do you mean? Use your words to make the things in your head make sense to the rest of us.
You can go too far the other way like you just did, Linhart.
Fine. Here's what's in my head. I don't understand why you're being nice to me. Look around.
I mean, she did make that pretty clear already.
Risk coming near me.
They're probably afraid you'll sigh, since you looked pretty rough when we came in. Makes sense. Your sighs are disastrous. If I can prevent one with a nice, lazy cup of tea, it's the least I can do.
I see. You did it for your own sake. Well, whatever your reasons, I'm surprised that you'd even consider doing this. For me.
Surprised or not, it's no skin off my back. I'll keep doing what I do, regardless of anyone's expectations. Think on that. I expected you to be a hazard, but you weren't. No harm, no foul, no need to sigh.
Yeah, doesn't that make you feel bad or happy? He just expected you to be a hazard. There's no reason to be upset about that.
If only it were that simple.
Goddamn, dude. But an interesting one. That first bit where she was out in the rain and it was all like a black screen was very unusual. Unlike anything we've seen in any of these. I do want to see where that goes, because that dynamic feels like it could have a lot of stories associated with it. Shamir and Leonie.
Why am I
He's so off. Yesterday wasn't like this.
Take it from me, who has more off days than on. Sometimes you just gotta revel in the failure.
Some days I just can't seem to hit anything.
I find that dreadfully unlikely.
Your mind, body, and technique are not synchronized. Find harmony between the three. You lack experience. You'll improve if you practice.
Now that you mention it, Shamir, how come I've never seen you train? Do you keep odd hours? Or are you just so good that you don't even need it anymore?
I am always training. Look here.
A dagger.
Watch.
Wow, nice throw. That was a long one. But does throwing knives at pillars really count as shooting practice?
Look closely.
Is that
It's a bug again, isn't it?
a centipede? You pierced it clean in half. How did you even see that?
I train everything. Eyes, speed, accuracy. Watch as the bird flies. Feel the wind. Recognize the distance between objects. Not all training requires a weapon. Integrate training into your daily routine.
Well, hey, if it keeps centipedes away, A-okay by me.
My daily routine, huh? Well, that's great advice. Thanks. I'll do my best.
Very good. Just be cautious.
I do always find these ones funny where it's like some character, like the same, it was the same with Leonie and Hoppy, where it's like they're all like, Hoppy and Shamir are talking to her as though they have anything on her in combat, which is just so blatantly untrue in our run. Marianne and Ferdinand.
Ah, Marianne. Praying to the goddess?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So persistent in your devotion. I quite admire that about you.
Oh, no. It's not like that.
No need for false modesty. I hardly know anyone with more piety.
I need to be going.
Wait a moment.
Oh, yes? Did you need something?
I have a suggestion. I have been meaning to tell you about it for a while. Have you ever considered projecting more confidence?
No, good day.
Your every word is laden with pessimism and devoid of enthusiasm. To gain the trust of commoners, you must appear self-assured at all times.
I don't believe that is true.
I have no need to earn the trust of the common people as a noble. All I want is to live a quiet life and to not be a bother to anyone. I dare not hope for anything beyond that.
But you are the only daughter of the esteemed Margrave Edmund. Regardless of what you hope for, you must concede that you have inherited certain responsibilities by virtue of your birth.
If that's the case, then I don't care to be a responsible person. Farewell.
One would think she does not wish to be a noble.
Wouldn't one? Man, it struck a nerve there, he did, but he didn't know. Alois and Leonie up to B. Let's see this.
Hey, Alois. Tell me another story about Captain Gerald, will you?
Preferably one I haven't heard before, please. Hoppy says from behind his pillar in the
I
background.
told you so many. I don't have an endless supply, you know.
I find that hard to believe.
There is one that comes to mind, however. That time the captain nearly killed me.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I haven't heard this one.
What did you do?
Now, it wasn't that I had done anything wrong. That wouldn't be much of a story, would it?
Yeah, I would.
We were at an inn making merry. Suddenly, the other guests began to gather around the captain. They wanted him to put on a show to entertain them with his skills.
And he downed the entire keg into your throat and almost gave you alcohol poisoning.
Oh, I get it. They figured his aim would be great even while drunk.
That's
Oh
right.
no!
They had a hatchet, and they
They went
asked
for
him
the
to
old
be
hitting
targeted.
apple off the head, did they?
A hatchet, huh? I guess a dagger would be too easy.
Indeed, indeed. Then the captain tells me, put this apple on your head and stand over there.
Oh my god,
So he could knock it right off, huh?
it's actually a little apple.
That was the idea, but the hatchet fell short of my head, nearly striking me square in the chest. If I hadn't gotten out of the way, that inn would have been my grave.
Awesome.
I knew it. That's our captain. So clumsy.
What a
sometimes.
funny story.
True. Injuries take their toll on a man's dexterity.
Oh, so that's why? I just remember him saying his hands were no good for finesse.
Well, regardless, a master swordsman, that Captain Jack.
Yeah, not a master hatchetman.
Even with the hatchet, now that I think of it. I never saw him miss in the training yard.
You think he was just genuinely trying to get rid of you?
Really? Seems unlike him to miss that apple, then.
Yes, it just dawned on me. Throwing that hatchet, he shouldn't have missed so badly.
Do you think maybe he was secretly angry with you?
I'm not sure. What if the captain was, in fact, trying to kill me?
Ha! No way. He must have known you would dodge the throw in time.
I think maybe you guys are forgetting that he was like a massive booze hound and probably was just more wasted than you even thought.
Messing around at the inn, deadly serious on the battlefield. Sounds just like him, doesn't it?
Sounds like it was deadly serious at the end, too.
Yes, certainly an eccentric man.
Oh, man.
Sometimes, Leone, you quite remind me of him.
In light of the recent conversation, I'm not sure that's a compliment. Yep, never heard that story before. 100% news to me. Good story. Eloise, Lawrence, and Sylvain.
To find the analog of your beauty in nature,
Oh my.
I can turn only to the lily. Only that flower is so sweet and so delicate as to approach your loveliness.
Hey, way to ascribe some metaphorical personality traits to this individual without their say-so.
Why, just look at these soft, delicate fingertips you have. It is as though they could blossom into fragrant lilies before my very eyes.
If you're so wild about flowers, why don't you try a flower shop?
Or the greenhouse.
Oh, wow. That was... I'm sorry I saw that, but I am so glad I saw that.
Oh, did you not realize? I was only testing her.
Nice
Any
save.
woman who is taken in by such simple flattery is ill-suited to my noble disposition.
And yet, you seem to be testing quite a number of people. The shadows on your hair are going absolutely buck wild right about now.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you explained it, because I thought you just got rejected. Just flat out, no way to make yourself feel better about it. Rejected. And the reason, your nobleness, is because that is really not the way you go about hitting on a girl.
Are you saying you weren't convinced by his very obvious truth-telling that he was just testing
Oh,
her?
is it not? And I suppose you consider yourself an expert on the subject.
Pay attention, kid. Maybe you'll learn something. When I saw you, I just had to come over and say hello. Because finding you here feels like fate. Maybe we could go get some tea. Get to know each other better.
I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Someone who cares. Please excuse me.
See, where you two went wrong, I think, was hitting on people who have the same exact outfit and were clearly part of, like, the same group and would have just said that someone came up and hit on them, so they were prepared for it.
Exquisite. Simply masterful. When is the wedding?
A week from today, get your best suit ready.
That's weird. Girls usually fall for that speech.
I can't imagine that to be true.
To think that the
You
noble
must have
Count d'Avier would be
spooked her.
blessed with such a graceful and charming air.
Please. I'm a much better heir than a self-important failure like you.
This is not worth my time.
And yet, you spend
Took
so
the
much of your
words
time on it.
Right out of my mouth.
Well, good to know that that was a constructive interaction. You two, please. There are so many bigger fish to fry. Ingrid and Ignatz.
Good day,
I and I.
Ignatz. So, painting again?
Ingrid. Yes, I'm painting St. Saros again.
Now, Ingrid, let's temper our expectations.
Look, I'm
No
really
dominatrix
sorry about
Saros.
last time. It's
No
my fault it
Maid
turned
of
out
Rock
so,
Saros.
well, different.
No, now draw her telling me I did good at school today, Saros.
No need to apologize. I appreciated the fresh input. It made me think.
That's kind of you to say, but no need to pull punches.
He said, his voice raising an octave each
It's
sentence.
the truth. I'm so caught up in my own mind, I'd never have thought to try that.
Ignatz, I appreciate your attitude, but
Yes?
there are times when it's okay to feel upset or angry. If you're feeling that way, it's always best to be honest.
I don't know about always, but generally.
But
I understand the weight of what I did. I besmirched a sacred image, and it was a painting you were pouring your heart into. I got carried away. But I'd prefer if you had told me then and there that my request was uncalled for.
I'm not angry. I could never get angry with you.
I think that's what she's upset about.
I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing? I'm the one apologizing.
Oh, sorry.
Stop saying sorry! Never mind. Forgive me. I came here to apologize, and now I'm being sharp with you.
Don't worry. It's my fault, really. I'm not very good at expressing myself.
I never intended to be such a bother. I think I'll leave you to it.
Bucker.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Damn it. Damn it. So those are the only thoughts I have about that support. Damn it. Oh, he felt so bad about making her feel bad. And she felt so bad about making him feel bad initially. Shamir and Raphael. Me too.
What's wrong with you?
Raphael clearly just watched that support.
Shamir! How long have you been there?
Too long. You're blocking my way.
That can't possibly be true. This is a massive reception hall.
Wait, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Ask? Just make it quick.
Well, you see, wherever I go into battle, the enemy seems to find me right away.
Which is rough with the Assassin's
I'm
Run.
an easy target. But I want to be able to move around the battlefield without being noticed, like you do. So what do you think? Would it be possible?
Do you think you're being noticed because of your size?
Of course. I'm pretty hard to miss, you know. I thought that was obvious.
Wrong. It's not your size, it's your presence. It's strong. Almost unbearably so.
I think she's mincing
My
words.
presence. Is that something I can change?
With practice. Maybe. Let me ask you. Have you ever felt my presence?
Only just now when you told me to get out of the way.
Now that I think about it, I haven't. That must be why I didn't notice you earlier. But how can I do that? Will you teach me? Please? Please?
Fine. There's a breathing technique that masks your presence. When you breathe, are you continuously inhaling then exhaling?
Well, of course. That's the best way I know how.
Yeah, now I'm doing it
I'd
manually.
explode
Thanks.
If I only breathed in.
Right. To minimize your presence, breathe in, then out again. In through the nose, then gently out through the mouth twice.
Let's try it. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
In, out, out. That's it? I could definitely do that. I couldn't do it, Shamir.
Breathe less. Keep it to the absolute minimum.
No, that I couldn't do.
I don't know the minimum.
How am I supposed to figure that out?
Practice.
Sure. I'll keep trying. In, out, out is trickier than it sounds.
Good do it, Shamir. God, I love that delivery on that line. So perfect. Raphael is perfect. Lawrence and Mercedes.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I just twisted my ankle.
Oh, that won't do. Come, take my hand. Let's get you to the infirmary.
Are you sure it's okay to be seen helping me?
To be seen.
Would it not be?
I thought you only extended your kindness to the nobility.
Certainly not. To aid a commoner in need is the most noble endeavor of all.
You are noble.
Not only that, but you were injured by
Not that
my
that matters.
carelessness. It is doubly
I don't see
my
your
duty
point.
to assist.
In that case, I'll gladly accept your offer.
Ah, good. There does not appear to be any real swelling, so you should heal swiftly.
Thank you so much for escorting me.
Walking on it will still be unpleasant. Allow me to lend you my shoulder, at least as far as your room.
If you're still offering to help, then I can't say no.
I mean, you
There
can,
are, safe
but
and
I guess
sound.
you're not gonna.
I will take my leave.
Thank you again, Lawrence. You know, I think I've learned something about you.
What is that?
In truth, it's not that you only extend your kindness to noble women, it's that you can't even see us of lower birth.
Excuse me?
You and I have been together all this time, but never once did you look me in the eye.
I hadn't noticed, but you will have to excuse any perceived rudeness. As the
Perceived.
heir to House Gloucester, I have a duty.
You just admitted you didn't look her in the eye once. What's this perceived
I
nonsense?
must ask you to forget about me. Farewell.
Forget about him? What could that possibly mean?
What indeed? Well, that was weird. Oh, well, I guess because of the way her life's twisted and turned all around, right. She is, strictly speaking, considered a commoner. I forgot about that. Because she was with House Bartels until that went obviously really bad, and then she's now with House Marktreats, or the other way around, I can't remember. And now she's just, her adoptive father isn't a noble, right? I did forget about that. I wonder if maybe that's why he's uncomfortable with her, is because she's of noble birth, but that changed due to life circumstance, because her noble house, like the leader of it, sucked. Ignatz and... well, no, that's one we just had. Happy and Yuri. To A support, max support. Let's have a look.
So Happy, are you going back home or what?
That came out of nowhere.
It is come out of where there's a
Haven't you
war.
noticed There's a war going on? I can't leave now.
I'm sure he was asking about after.
Hadn't noticed. Nope. Now that I have, will you head home once it's over? To check on your parents?
No. Even after the war, I can't return.
That's so.
With my curse, I might destroy the
Oh.
whole village. I won't put them at risk like that.
True. I want to say you could go there and everything would be dandy. The way things tend to shake out, though, it can be pretty hard not to sigh.
What about you? You don't mind spending all this time away from wherever you call home?
Sounds like he couldn't get out of there soon enough.
Can't spend much time thinking about it. Maybe after the war is over. I've got plenty to keep me occupied. If I drop things and head home, my people will lose respect for me. I can't have that.
I see. I know I should visit home at some point, It's been more than a decade since I left, though. They probably think I died.
They might. All the more reason for you to go back.
But it could be a convenient excuse not to go back,
I know
the way you
you're
think about it.
But if you keep your visit brief, it'll work out fine. I don't know about yours, but my mother would want to know that I'm okay.
I suppose I could stop by for a short visit. That might be nice.
Still worried? I can accompany you. I'm sure you'll find some use for me.
Huh?
You know you'll be so caught up in my lively conversations, you'll have very little time.
That plan could backfire. I might find the conversation boring, and then...
That would never happen. I wouldn't allow for it. And on the off chance a beast does appear, well, that'll clear up your boredom pretty quickly, won't it?
Yes, but at that point, the problem will have already escalated to the worst point possible.
You've had a weird sense of humor, Yuri Bird. I guess I wouldn't feel so nervous about going home if you went with me. I might even have a good time.
I might not have bore every minute of it.
When you're
That could be great.
You feel closer to the stars. They look so clear and bright.
I was wondering how this would tie back into that conversation.
I'd love to show you.
I look forward to it. I bet we'll even see some of the stars you taught me about.
And maybe I'll finally lay eyes on that constellation you told me about. A fishing rod, was it?
Haha. Very sweet. But of course then, kind of like what I was saying with Ignatz and Leonie about the sky looking different depending on who you're looking at it with. I think them looking at the stars there also means getting to, share her early life with him and all. Because like he said, he found her kind of unusual and gets to see now where that all comes from. Ferdinand and Lawrence. Oh boy.
Ah, that fragrance. Could it be?
Tea.
Ferdinand, I cannot help but notice the exquisite tea you're drinking.
Not many can appreciate it, let alone recognize it. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you would be so good as to indulge me with a cup?
By all means. Allow me to pour.
You guys drinking in the Cardinal Room? Seems a woefully inappropriate place for this.
Ah, what a delightful aroma. When I close my eyes, I feel as though I've wandered into a rose garden.
Such a precise, poetic description. But please, drink up. No need to stand on ceremony.
How gracious of you. Very well. Flavor, fragrance, and hue, all in fine harmony. This is a most superior brew, and in a market saturated by pale imitation, no less. You did well to acquire such fine fare.
You are clearly quite passionate about tea. And more than just passionate, you know what it takes to brew a fine cup. To say nothing of your flawless etiquette and sterling attentiveness.
Certainly. Proper etiquette at tea time is one of the surest hallmarks of quality breeding. And the extent of one's attentiveness is quite often indicative of the depth of one's character. The ability of a person of fine stock to exhibit a rich quality of character is precisely what determines whether one is worthy to be called noble. And all of that can be seen in how one handles such a simple thing as a cup of tea.
Ah, marvelously put, Lawrence. I can tell you have given much thought to this subject. And if I may, I have always considered you to be the very model of noble comportment.
Oh, likewise, this has certainly been an extraordinarily meaningful cup of tea.
I wholeheartedly concur. Before we part ways, I would like to offer you some of these leaves.
Truly? Well, I'm flattered, but I cannot simply accept them without offering something in exchange. You simply must allow me to host you in turn, by way of recompense. We shall drink from House Gloucester's finest teacups and enjoy the loveliest of its cakes.
That sounds exquisite. I look forward to it.
Okay, good. You know what? I was exaggerating how painful that was a little bit. Somehow when they're both together and enjoying each other's company and just being snooty with each other, it kind of cancels it out a bit in some ways. Last but not least, Ignatz and Mercedes. How is she gonna teach him to calm down this time?
Oh, Ignatz. What are you sighing over?
Sorry. I shouldn't sigh in such a holy place.
A crime?
There's nothing wrong with it. I sigh here all the time. The goddess receives all our prayers and our sighs. What's bothering you? I'd be happy to talk about it if you'd like.
Oh, it's nothing. Not worth talking about.
Is that so? Am I not worth talking to?
Ugh.
That's not what I meant. Sorry to offend you.
Way to twist his
I'll
arm.
tell you about it. I'm just uncertain about my future. My father wants me to be a knight.
Because you haven't gotten home to have that conversation about how there's no demand for knights in peacetime yet.
I don't think I can handle it. Can you imagine a knight as pathetic as me?
I don't find you pathetic at all. Is there something you would
High
want
praise.
to pursue?
Well, I've always loved painting.
You want to become an artist? How wonderful!
What's your ambition?
Me? I simply want to help people with their troubles. Those who can't help themselves. I've considered working for the church, but that's only a vague idea. Oh, I'm sorry. We were supposed to be discussing your troubles.
Not at all. I'm actually feeling a little better. Knowing that you aren't sure about your future, I don't feel quite so alone.
Considering how composed she tends to be.
Everyone in this world feels a little lost, you know? I really do believe that the life of an artist is a wonderful dream to pursue.
As do I.
There was a beautiful painting of the goddess in the church where I used to live. Whenever times were difficult, I would stare up at her and sigh. Thinking about that painting helps me even now.
I've always wanted to paint the goddess.
You should. I'm sure your painting will help someone else in their time of need.
I can't paint anything powerful enough to do that. I wish I could. Maybe one day. I'll give that some thought. Thank you, Mercedes.
I mean, you know, except for Maya, you already did change her life and move her emotionally. So you already have proof. Get it through your thick skull. But that was a fun bout of supports. A lot of silly ones this time around as well. I cannot believe that Cheryl threw an hatchet and Aloise aimed straight at his sternum. Oh no. Very well, next video here in Three Houses Land, we're going to be doing all the battles up to the last battle of the 26th here, which we're going to use on The Face Beneath. Is that the one? I think it was that one. So it'll be another one that's kind of a long recording that I kind of skip through, and it'll only be like 10 minutes for you, because you'll just get to see the highlights of the teaching, activity points, so on and so forth. Can't wait! Next week on the channel is going to be some more Kid Icarus Uprising, I do believe. But we're headed to the bottom of the ocean. Words I never thought I would say with such gusto and cheeriness. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! Oh, speaking of waste for evil. I can't believe she took my prince too, Apollo. This is looking pretty bad, Apollo. They're calling it a murder, and they've even got proof. What are we gonna do? Well, so they say. Look on the bright side, that's what. Bright side? The bright side. Well, the good thing about there being proof is that